I heard a rumor that you bought a new house. I can't wait to see what it looks like. When will be a good time for me to visit you and take a look? I'd love to have dinner, too. Will you prepare something for me? Excuse me? Did you forget that we cut ties with you? There's no way I'd invite you to our home. Your own son doesn't want to see you. Why would I make you dinner? What are you talking about? We're family. We became family when you married Owen. You shouldn't be so cold. I don't even understand why you both suddenly started saying that you don't want to have anything to do with me. And it's already been 2 years since we had that silly argument. So you should hurry up and get over it. If you keep on dragging that along, you'll never be able to get along with anybody, let alone me. The reason why we can't forgive you is because of your refusal to try and understand why we're so angry. I don't know what Owen said to you, but I still haven't forgiven you for what you did, and how you upset my husband. Don't you even remember what happened 2 years ago before we told you to stay out of our lives? Oh, it was such a long time ago. You can't expect me to remember everything. I'm getting old and make mistakes. You should be more open to forgiveness. If you keep on stressing about insignificant things like that, you'll get more wrinkles, you know. I say, if you want to live life to the fullest, you've got to be more carefree. More importantly, it's incredibly rude of you to be so cold towards the woman that gave birth to your husband. You should respect the elderly. I don't know where you heard the news that we bought a new house, but I'm never inviting you to my home. As long as Owen and I can't forgive you, you're not welcome here. Don't worry, I don't need your invitation. It's easy enough to find out your address without you telling me where you're living right now. I'll be going to visit you this weekend. Huh? That's probably gonna be more difficult than you think. It's ridiculous that you would try to cut ties with your own mother-in-law like that. There's something wrong with you. We're supposed to be family. I couldn't believe it when Owen said that he didn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. You changed him. Ever since you married him, you've been putting him against me. You've been pitting him against me. He never used to be this rebellious. You're the one that's got something wrong with you. You broke into our home and tried to steal our money. And that was just the last straw. We tried talking to you about your addiction and your debt, remember? But you never listened. Of course we had no choice but to cut ties with you. I had no choice. I needed the money. I was having some trouble back then, and that's what family's for. To help each other when someone is in trouble. And yet you were too selfish and announced that I wasn't welcome. You spent all of the money your husband left for you and your sons on visiting a male strip club. Part of it was money you owed to Owen. And we warned you about how much you were spending. You ended up in debt and tried to steal more of Owen's money to fund your daily visits to Magic Mike. How could anyone forgive you for acting like that? I don't care what you say. I want to see my baby boy, so I'm going to visit. You don't have any right to stop a mother from going to see her son. He was my son first. Just because you married him doesn't make you more important than me. Your son is the one that's saying he doesn't want to see you. I never did anything to convince him to make that decision. Your son is his own man. If you can't respect that, then we still have a problem. Say whatever you like. I don't believe you. You're getting in the way of my relationship with my son. I want to be with my son, so let me live with you. You can't be serious. You're the one that said that you were fine with living by yourself. It's better if things stay like that. You can live the way you want, and we can live our lives in peace. I want to live with you. You can't say no to me. I'm Owen's mother. If I say I want to live in your brand new home, you should let me. What's the problem? There are a lot of problems, including the things I mentioned just 2 minutes ago. There's no point in trying to hide your address from me. I know of plenty of ways to find out where you live. I'm sorry, but you're really starting to creep me out. You may be really excited about the idea of living with us, but we're not interested. We don't want to live with you. To be honest, I think it's impossible for you to even live with us. I don't think you can find us, and there's no way for you to get here financially. What are you talking about? We're family, and family should stick together. Even if you are Owen's mother, you've already made enough mistakes for us to not be able to trust you anymore. And you show no signs of reflecting on what you've done. Do you even have a passport? And the money to buy a ticket? Wait, that doesn't mean that you can come if you do have a passport. What on earth are you talking about? Anyways, I've tried messaging and calling Owen, but he won't answer. I want you to let him know that I'm coming. I don't want you putting any ideas in his head. So tell him exactly what I say. You have to inform him that if I can't live with him, I'm going to end up homeless. He won't be able to ignore his mother's pleas for help if he knows that. You're going to be homeless? What happened? No matter how much you beg, we're not going to help you. We've already offered more than enough help when we realized that we were spending too much money at the club. But you wouldn't listen to our advice and ended up taking out loans from the bank. We've cut ties with you and we don't want to get caught up again in your problems anymore, so don't message me ever again. Your mom keeps on messaging me even though I keep on telling her that we can't do anything for her. You're telling her to stop as well, aren't you?
Of course I am. I keep on asking her not to contact me as well, but she's being impossible. She won't listen to anything I say. I'm not letting her live with us. It'll be like everything she's done up until now is okay, and she'll get it in her head that she can just do whatever she wants because we're her family. And take advantage of us. I can't let a thief live with us.
Yeah, you're right. She's your mom, but I don't feel comfortable letting her stay with us. It sounds like she's still having trouble with money and finding her own apartment, too. So it makes it harder to deny that she won't do the same thing she tried when we last let her stay. I wonder if she's been tricked by another young guy she met at the club. Do you think she'll be okay all alone?
I don't know, but I can't say that I care much. She's the reason why Dad struggled so much for the last few years of his life. And I've got my own family to take care of now. She's already had plenty of chances to listen to our advice and accept our help. But she wouldn't stop. It's none of our business what happens to her from now on. The last time we interfered, I ended up having to use our savings to pay back her debt for her. And we did that with the promise that she would never bother us again. It's not fair that she doesn't get to keep that promise, especially if she has no intention of apologizing or paying us back. It's not fair that she says that us cutting ties with her was your fault, as though she did nothing wrong.
Yeah, we were lucky to get this chance to move this far away. Now we're nowhere near her. She can't just turn up suddenly without any warning like she used to. It was already really scary. It'll be impossible for us to find us. And she doesn't have the means to get here, even if she did know.
My thoughts exactly. In the beginning I was worried about the move, but now I'm really glad I took the chance. I'm really grateful to you for coming with me too. If it weren't for you, I might not have had the guts to come here all by myself.
I think you made the right decision. And I'm glad we came here too. It's a completely different world and I'm enjoying finding out about new things. And I love the food.
It means a lot to me that you're enjoying our life here. My mom won't be able to bother us for a while we're here, so there's a lot of other places I want to go with you. Let's make the most of our life here.
Of course I am. Even if she tries to message us again, I guess we can just ignore her. It seems like she's having a hard time, but if she's got nothing to do with us, then we don't have any reason to bother ourselves with her business. I just hope she can work out her problems and get her old life back. What time are you getting back from work? I've been waiting at home for you for hours. I haven't even had any lunch. I'm starving. Can't you hurry up and get home so you can make me something to eat? Excuse me? What do you mean you're waiting for me? Waiting where? Waiting at home. I finally found out where you and my son are living. What? No way, that's impossible. I'm at home right now and you're definitely not here. I know you're not at home, Abigail, because I'm right here. There's no point in lying to me. You shouldn't underestimate my investigation skills. I'm going to be a guest here for a while now, so you should treat me like one. Hurry up and come back and make me something to eat. There's nothing in the fridge, and I've already eaten the cookies that were in front of the TV. Seriously, would you listen to me for a minute? Where are you and how did you get in? I really don't understand what's going on. You really are dull. I don't know why I have to waste my time explaining every little thing to you. I told you, I found out your address and decided to come and pay you a visit. I'm watching TV, but I'm really hungry. When are you going to come home? You can't leave your husband's mother to starve, you know. I hope you're cooking properly, because my son deserves handmade dinners. Not the stuff you can put in the microwave. I checked your fridge and cupboards, but you don't have anything. You're a terrible wife if you can't even make a proper dinner for your husband. I'm in the kitchen right now, and I'm the only one home right now. You're really starting to creep me out. So would you cut this out? Don't be dramatic. I know that you're lying. I'm the only one that's in the house. There's no point in acting like you don't know where I am. Because I know that this is your house. I tracked you down. Are you still working? Even after I told you so many times that you need to resign. You're a wife now, so you need to focus on supporting your husband's career, not going out and making your own. You really are the worst daughter-in-law. You won't even come and welcome your guests like a proper housewife should. What? Are you being serious? You can try running away from me all you like, but you can't escape. It's too easy for me to find out your address. Now that I've found you, you'll have no choice but to let me live with you and Owen. I broke a window to get inside, but you'll have to forgive that, since I don't have a key yet. We're living in France. What? You broke a window to get into someone's house? That's called trespassing, Lisa. It's a crime. Even if that was our house, it would still be considered a crime. You don't have a key to our house because you're not welcome. Do you understand that? You're not welcome in the house you've just broken into as well. What have you done, Lisa? Are you going to be okay after doing something stupid like that? I'm sorry, that was a stupid question. You're not okay. You're a criminal. What have you done? You're lying, aren't you? What do you mean you're living in France? There's no point trying to scare me out of this house. There's no way Owen would move that far away without saying anything to me. He would have told me and checked if I was okay with it. Well, we did. Owen was offered a position in the European branch of his company and we accepted. We just had a baby, so we decided it was time to move out of our apartment and find a home. After spending a year here, we chose to live here for a little while longer. We won't be coming back to the States for a while. What? You're kidding, right? This is your home. I'm waiting right here. I don't understand. If this really isn't your house, then who's living here? How should I know? I don't know why you thought you managed to track us down, but we're living in France. That house isn't ours. And it and its inhabitants have nothing to do with us. You're in a complete stranger's home. But I checked the nameplate and the last name was the exact same. And I asked around the neighbors about the person living here and they all said your name. How can you all be mistaken? I don't understand. I thought my plan was perfect. So the person who lives there happens to have the same name as me? I'm sure that there are a lot of people named Abigail Smith. It's an incredible coincidence, but that's not our house. If you say that you're in France, then I'd be a little more worried that you actually came all this way to chase us down. But now that I know that you can't afford a plane ticket here... What? You're really living in France? Not in a house close by your old place? I'm in your old neighborhood right now. I found this address by asking the neighbors about everyone in the new area. And this was the address they told me. Is this really a coincidence? No, I don't trust you. I still think that you're lying about living in France. It's impossible. How could someone with the same name move into the same neighborhood? It looks like it really is possible. It really is a small world, I guess. If you check with the neighbors, and they all say the same thing and same name and surname, that's the only explanation. But you really do crazy things. I'm really glad we were able to get away from you before we had the baby. It'd be terrifying if something like that happened to us. If you really broke a window to get in, you're going to be getting arrested. You committed a crime. Can't believe you actually went so far. Or did you do it on purpose because you knew that you would have food and shelter once you were in prison? Even if you lose your freedom, you can eat after all. Of course not. I'm not going to get arrested. I know that you're lying just to scare me away. Once Owen gets home, he won't let you kick me out. He won't report me to the police for breaking a window. I'm his mother. The police aren't going to touch me. I know what you're up to, Abigail, but you can't keep me away from my son. That's all a story you made up, Lisa. I really am in France with Owen. There's no point calling the police on me either. Owen's my only next of kin. He'll be there for me if the police even arrest me. Even if you kick me out or have the police arrest me for breaking that window, you and my son will have to take responsibility for me anyway. Why don't you just give up already? I'm your mother-in-law. All I want is for us to live together as one big happy family. Especially if I have a grandson or granddaughter, I want to meet them. I'm not trying to chase you away. I'm telling you the truth, Lisa. That house that you broke into isn't our home. It really belongs to someone who has the exact same name as me. You're the one that needs to give up on trying to live with us and give yourself up to the police. If you had just happened to find the door open, you might have still been able to explain and tell the people that live there that you made a mistake and thought that was someone else's home and avoided being arrested. Maybe by the skin of your teeth. But if you broke a window and forced entry, there's no way they're gonna excuse you. You're really not lying. This really isn't your house? Then who is living here? Someone's coming home! I hope you can explain yourself, but it's unlikely that they'll be willing to listen to a stranger who's sitting on their couch watching TV like they own the place. But it's got nothing to do with us anyway. You've got to help me! Where are you? You've got to come and help me! Help me right now! You need to explain everything to the police for me! Abigail, are you reading this? Help me! We're in France. Can't help you, so you'll have to deal with your problems by yourself. You're really in France? Why? Why would you move so far away? I'm guessing that the owner of the house came home and found that you were trying to run away. Did you explain why you were there? That's right. She thinks that I'm a thief, even though I haven't taken anything. Apparently the neighbors let her know that someone was inside her house and they called the police on me. Can you believe it? They're treating me like a common thief. I was about to be arrested by the police, but I was too fast for them. Honestly, the nerve of some people. I just thought that my son lived there, that's all. Hang on, so you haven't been arrested? You ran away from the police? I had no choice. They were acting as though I was the criminal. I told them that it wasn't my fault that the window was broken, but they wouldn't listen. I don't care if it's you or Owen, but one of you has to come and explain everything. It's not fair. I didn't know that it was someone else's home. If you don't come, I'll end up being arrested. They're going to make me a criminal. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I haven't even done anything to deserve that. Excuse me? But you did do something. You broke a window to get into someone's home without their permission. On top of that, they're a stranger, and your excuse is that you thought it would be okay if it was your son's house? Wait, didn't you say that you were eating their cookies? You've caused nothing but trouble for them. Of course they'd want to report you to the police. But I really did think that it was your house. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. That's what a criminal says. And that's the worst thing that you could say to the victim. If you had been more apologetic and, hadn't broken their window, I'm sure they would have been more forgiving, too. Do you really think that you can avoid punishment after all of this? You should know that neither me nor Owen are going to help you. We've had enough of cleaning up after you. You'll have to deal with this yourself and learn how to accept responsibility for your own mistakes. Why won't Owen answer any of my messages? Even though I'm in so much trouble. You told him to ignore me, didn't you? I can't believe he won't even try to save his own mother. He's useless. It's all your fault. They never would have happened if you hadn't married my son. Everything's changed since you came into his life. You're a terrible daughter-in-law. You made him abandon me. He didn't abandon you because of me. He decided to abandon you because of you. What did you say? You were so selfish that you caused trouble not only for your late husband, but for your own 2 sons. You showed them that you can't be trusted and lost their respect when you didn't respect their boundaries. You only ever come to see Owen when you need something, and it's obvious that you don't care about what's convenient for either of them. I'm a complete stranger, so I'm willing to talk with you, but the only reason that you can't get through to Owen is because he's already had enough of how self-centered you are. He blocked you. He's blocked me? So he hasn't even seen any of my messages. He doesn't care about what happens to his own mother. You can't blame him. Owen's already decided that it's best to pretend that you never existed. So I don't think that you'll ever be able to reconcile with him. Don't say that. You can talk to him and tell him that I didn't mean to cause him trouble. We're family. We're supposed to stick together. His dad would be so disappointed if he saw that Owen is ignoring me. Please, do something. You're not my mother, so I don't have any obligation to listen to what you say. And I wouldn't use Owen's dad as a way to guilt trip him. You'll only make things worse. Anyway, we're complete strangers now, so you'll have to deal with the police all by yourself. You can try explaining to them that you haven't done anything wrong. If they're willing to listen, that is. Even after being told off by her daughter-in-law, Lisa didn't stop messaging Abigail and Owen for help, and she ended up pushing Abigail to her limit as well. Abigail had no choice but to make it clear that they had cut ties and that she didn't care about what happened to Lisa, ending the conversation by blocking Lisa completely. Lisa was caught soon after by the police and arrested for trespassing. She had tried to argue that she was only searching for her son's house when the police had questioned her. As a result of their investigations, they found out that she was in debt and had had her home taken from her by the loan sharks that she had borrowed money from, and that she wasn't lying about looking for her son, but it didn't change the fact that she had broken a window in order to enter a stranger's home. The verdict reached in court was that she was guilty as charged, and she had to accept the punishment dealt to her. Apparently, she had begged for them to listen to her, but all of her pleas and excuses had fallen on deaf ears. She only had herself to blame, so we can only hope that she'll come to realize the wrongs she committed and will return to society as a new person. Abigail and her husband were reminded of how lucky they were to have been given the chance to move abroad, and were relieved that they would never have to deal with Lisa ever again.